Hey everyone, today is lawn care day. I've already mowed the lawn and now I'm going to put on some summer weed and feed. So the benefits of this summer weed and feed is a lot of the pest control, but it also helps the grass, especially when it goes dormant. So here in the Midwest in Missouri, we have some really ugly summer temperatures. Just today it's supposed to be about 100 degrees, and I think it's supposed to be even worse tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you give your grass the food and the nutrients that it needs while it goes dormant in such these strong heat waves. So this year I'm using Scott's TurfBuilder. It is the Summer Guard. By no means is that probably the best product. Happens to be what we can get here locally, so that's what I'm using. And this is one of the first years where I'll be doing this myself instead of using a company to do it. We had a company, we didn't really care for the way the lawn was looking with them, and they were very sporadic in getting to us, so we opted to take over and do it ourselves. But I want to just kind of give you a quick rundown and show you what I'm using for this. There are a lot of tools you can use, spreaders that you can use to get this product out into your lawn. There are pull behind spreaders, there are literally hand spreaders, you hold them in your hand. There are push behind spreaders, so all of these things can help you depending on the size of your lot. So I have about a third of an acre. I've got 2 big patios on the back plus my driveway, so really I would say we're looking at about 7,000 to 8,000 square foot. So I use a push walk behind spreader. Now if you had a few acres, then go ahead and upgrade to one you can pull with your mower or four-wheeler or something. And then of course if you just have a small amount of grass, you can either just throw it out by hand, or you can get the hand spreaders. You can find them at any local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. But what I use is it's an AgriFab 110 pound capacity spreader, and let me take you over to it so you can see it. But essentially this is it. The AgriFab, I forget the part number, it's 45-076 or something like that. But anyway, 110 pound capacity. One of the things I really like about this particular model is it has these big pneumatic tires instead of like the cheaper ones that have plastic tires. And the reason why I hate plastic tires is because a lot of times they don't really spin properly. They don't have good weight on them. So you really you spend a lot more time pushing down to get the wheels to spin than you do on one like this. Now this is pretty heavy. It's a metal frame. The tub is plastic, but when it's filled up, it makes this thing pretty heavy, and it makes it roll really well across the ground. Now the only thing I'll say about AgriFabs is, depending on the product you buy, it can be very difficult to find the settings that you need when you look at a bag of whatever product it is you're throwing down. So this one, as you can see, I don't know if I can get it on the camera there, but it has settings 1 through 10 and then off, and that doesn't really equate to what Scott's or Pennington or any of those brands cover on their bags. So for the AgriFab, you definitely have to use the owner's manual. Now the owner's manual for mine says that if I want to cover an 8 to 10 foot spread, that I need to have the settings between 3 and 5. So I'll usually start on the low end. I'll just start at 3, and then I'll kind of gauge what I'm seeing coming out of the spreader and then adjust from there. Also important to know, when you're doing a walk behind, you really need to be going roughly, like walking about 3 miles an hour for it to be accurate. That can be pretty fast for some people. I know honestly it's kind of fast for me, but I'll push through it and we'll get it done. But another one of the areas to look for in a spreader is the type of screw that's going to be in here to actually push everything down. Now, I would say that this is one area where I feel like AgriFab could do a little better, because this is kind of the same style as the cheap ones that you can buy from, you know, that's a Scott's brand or whatever. And there are ones that are better. You could look at Chapin or Chapin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they have a different auger system. But this one does work. I've already used it this year to spread the gypsum out on the ground, because we do have heavy clay here in west central Missouri. So definitely trying to put some gypsum down to help kind of loosen that soil up. And then here I'm going to use it for the summer guard, and then I'll use it again for the fall guard. I do try to use liquid fertilizer, but you can also use this to spread granule fertilizers. Like I said, this thing will work for a lot of different applications. And then we'll take a look here. This is what we're going to use. Like I said, it's not probably the best product, but especially for this time of year, kind of helps keep the fleas and ticks down. And if you're a dog owner or pet owner in general, you know, that can be important. It also it actually goes after a lot of different pests they'll come up into the through the grass. Now, the only problem here is that for the ticks, a lot of times they're blowing out of the trees, so if you go outside, you're likely to get a couple on you anyway. But it'll help keep them off the dogs a little bit. And then it also, as you see, it says helps to to protect your lawn against the heat and the drought, which we happen to be in a pretty nasty drought right now. And what I was talking about with settings, now if you buy Scott's products and you have a Scott's spreader, then you're going to see that it's going to tell you what setting you need for a Scott's spreader, and they give it to you in multiple forms. So a rotary spreader, then you know you want setting 3 3/4. If you're using the drop spreaders, it's 8 1/2. But it will not give you any information for spreaders that aren't a Scott's brand. So you want to make sure that you look at your manufacturer, your spreader manufacturer's book, and you know, go use that. But some of the things that it covers, I mean, so you know, you're looking at ants, you know, army worms, which we actually have really bad here as well. Chiggers, which is always a bad thing in Missouri. It'll even try to help with crickets. You know, it'll keep the grasshoppers and leaf hoppers down. So there's all kinds of things, and there you see can help help kill off spiders, ticks. So definitely a good start when trying to take care of, you know, your lawn, especially if you happen to live near woods or even open fields. We've lived next to cornfields before, and you know, the bugs and everything are pretty rough there as well. So you know, with trying to take care of your lawn is not an easy task, and you know, and it's also not a cheap task by any means. And I know that's why a lot of people oftentimes just pay somebody else to do it. But the satisfaction that you get from having your own sweat equity put into it, I believe is worth the work that it takes and the amount of money that it takes. So I will say that if you guys have any you know, tips, tricks, or anything like that, if you have any better ideas on product and stuff like that, by all means leave it in the comments. And then you know, let me know how you guys are doing on your lawn care. Let me know what is working best for you, because I love to see nice green lush lawns. So whenever people have good, you know, stories about how their lawn care is working, you know, I love to hear it. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching. Make sure to, you know, like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.